keep your speed up. So the key to that is to turn your pump speed or pump force down really, really low. So when you do get an incorrect pump, you won't go too fast. But even then, sometimes I'll go really, really quick by accident like this. So the same way that you kind of like, think of it like this. When you do kick flips and pop shove-its, to make that really smooth is to do it slow and, you know, whatever. When you're pumping, it's kind of the same. If you pump a little bit with the stick, just kind of gently touch it, you won't like fully, like full throttle this thing, you know? But when I fully press it though, you're gonna get the full pump. But if you do a little pump, you only get like a little fraction of the whole pump, if that makes sense. So it's kind of the same as like if you do like a really fast kickflip or really fast scoop, you'll get a really fast pump as well. So just kind of slow it down. And honestly, all you need is like not even a touch. Like I barely even touch the pump button, just enough to kind of keep my speed up. But I could definitely do pump every time I go up the quarter foot. I don't really pump going down it, because going down it, you get a lot of speed, but going up it, I'll usually pump. But if I do like a transition trick, I'll go up, I'll pump up into it, slide, then pump down sometimes too, but yeah. Do you have auto pump active? No, I turn it off, because if you had auto pump turned on, you would not have any control over how much you pump, and this game is very random sometimes. So sometimes you'll like, if you have auto pump on, you won't, like nothing will happen. Sometimes, like, actually, you know what? So when a map creator makes a map, they have to tag their map to have auto pump. So a lot of maps will actually do nothing at all. Whereas Hoodland right here, this map has auto pump built in. So you will pump on this one. But if you had auto pump, it would be very inconsistent with other maps because typically they're turned off. I would say like only 5% of maps have like auto pump built in, which is like all the Easy Day maps. Brexy's maps probably as well too, because he like makes higher quality maps. Maybe Jean Olive, and Guineas. Yeah, I turn it off for sure. If you want to skate transition well, definitely manual pump. Have a low pump force. But also you want to like balance your pump force. It's kind of like calibrating like a car or a bike, like, I guess. You want to like have your pump force and your speed of your skater have to kind of be balanced. So it's not just your pump force, but also your maximum speed. So if my max speed was 20, my pumps would go faster because I would max out, you know, at a higher speed. Was anybody here triggered when I made a video called Is SkaterXL Dead? I didn't want to make anybody mad, but I thought it was clever, okay? This is my thinking, right? Like, the point of the videos was to show that SkaterXL is not dead. That's the point of the video. But it's also to target Session and SkaterXL players together. Because when I play Session, like, a lot of Session people like to see that, but XL players don't want to watch it, and then vice versa. So if I do a video that covers both, they both watch it. And also to get Easy Day's attention and stuff. I'm, you know, trying to stir things up a little bit, not stir the pot too much. And I don't want to create drama between Session and XL, but to keep having the conversation of, you know, is this game still being worked on? Is the modding community keeping it alive? Is it dead on console? Is it live on PC? Like, what's the deal? I didn't really cover all of that stuff, but the point was to kind of take away the fact that the modding community is still massive. Session is still going pretty strong, but they're both very small games. Oh, yo, that was an insane sound. That hollow, like, woo! Only 50 hours? That's a lot of hours, though. Over, like, 40 hours in any video game is a lot of hours. But in this game, dude, like... in Session in this game, you have to spend, like, 100 hours, or maybe like 40, 50 hours, just to get an understanding of the game. And then it unlocks, kind of. Like, if you ever played, like, an MMO, like World of Warcraft, the game starts level 80. And it's like this game. This game starts at 100 hours in. After you've installed your mods and your settings are set up and you've gotten to understanding of the pumping and catching and stuff, you can really do a lot of really cool stuff. But you'll never realize that until you have those 100 hours, which is why Session and XL are so niche that people don't spend that 100 hours. They just kind of like, oh, I didn't like the controls of that game or this game because the turnings on the triggers, or I didn't like the dual stick. After you spend 100 hours, you're not going back to single stick. There's no way. The way I see it, it's like, you know, racing games, how like every single racing game, right, is the same controls. Whether you're playing Forza Motorsport, Assetto Corsa on the gamepad, they're all the same. And why is that? Because they're correct controls. Like they're the most correct that you could potentially be on a gamepad with the limited amount of inputs that you have. And that's no different with skateboarding. Like, people don't like turning with the triggers, right, in both games. Well, you don't really turn a skateboard in real life. You lean it. And having that pressure on the triggers is unmatched. Like, being able to turn, like, with, like, apply pressure to both sides, unmatched. That's how it should be. I could see it too, though. Like, maybe the control scheme gets released one day. Like, you know, the motocross game I've been playing. You control that game with the stick, right? Like a bike, like a racing game. Any other racing game you control with the stick. But in that game, the motocross game, your left stick is actually your player's body weight. So when you're going around corners, you can lean forward and backwards and side to side. So imagine that if Skate did single stick controls, but your left stick was your body weight. So you can lean backwards, forwards, diagonal and stuff to get some extra steez. That would be a good solution for like realistic single stick controls. Turn using the front stick. Yeah, well, this game you have that option. You know, you have it. You could do it. It is there. You can turn with the left stick. It's not very optimal though, because if you want to do any tricks, you have to have this foot available to do the trick. So you can still turn with it though. I think what I've heard from John, the person who designed this system, is they kept that in there because he knew that people coming from Skate would want that, right? So this was a thing they kept in the game for people to come to XL and enjoy it. If it didn't have this, the drop-off rate would be much higher than it currently is. Yeah, John's very, very, very smart. Yeah, just drop it in chat. Drop a link in chat. We'll start watching some videos. Let me go grab a coffee. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a coffee. Then we'll watch some videos.